Back in the late 90s, my brother worked as a truck driver, driving on the quiet roads of Pennsylvania at night. He told me this scary story recently, and it really scared me. On a dark night, he was driving on a lonely road between two other trucks. It was very quiet, just the noise of the engines and the tires on the road. He was tired from driving, so he decided to stop and rest for a bit. He went to his sleeping area and lay down. Outside, it got even darker and quiet. Suddenly, a loud banging noise, like someone hitting metal, echoed in the truck. He got scared, jumped up, and grabbed a baseball bat he kept nearby. He looked out the window carefully. He didn't see anyone, just the empty road. He felt a chill, and then heard another bang from the other side of the truck, as if something was trying to get in. He looked at the left window, but there was nothing there. He felt confused and scared. He listened carefully, waiting for more noise. A few seconds later, there were loud bangs on both sides of the truck at the same time. The truck shook from the force, like something invisible was attacking it. With courage, he opened the curtains quickly. He looked into the darkness, trying to understand what was happening. But there was nothing there. No ghostly figure, nothing. Just darkness. Time felt strange as he panicked. He quickly got into the driver's seat and tried to start the truck. His heart was pounding. The engine started and he drove forward. The other trucks started their engines too. The drivers must have been just as confused and scared. As he drove away, the banging stopped. It was like whatever was bothering him had let go. The other trucks drove with him, a group of scared drivers, all escaping from something they couldn't explain. My brother couldn't explain what happened that night. He only knew that in the quiet of the Pennsylvania night, he faced something strange, something that made him and the other drivers really scared. Late at night, when it's really dark outside, I often sit by the window waiting for my boyfriend to come back. He's a truck driver, someone who drives big trucks on long trips at midnight on spooky highways and empty places. I got really curious one day and asked him about a night that had scared me. He told me a story that gave me goosebumps. One of those nights, he began, sounding a bit uncomfortable, I was really tired when I stopped my truck in a dark parking lot next to a quiet truck stop. It was weird because there were no lights, no sounds of other trucks, just emptiness. But I was too tired to be careful. Listening closely, I felt a shiver as he told me more. He talked about how he went into his camper to rest. I fell asleep, and the silence felt strange. Then I woke up in the morning. He paused, and his face looked scared and confused. When I woke up, I wasn't where I parked. My truck was on a lonely road far from where I stopped. My heart raced as I imagined empty roads and scary shadows. How did it happen? I asked. He looked haunted and told me what happened next. The camper doors were still locked from the inside, and there was no sign of anyone breaking in. The police got involved and said someone might have stolen the truck. They talked about a man in a black jumpsuit they saw running away into a field. I felt chills all over. What did the police think? They thought someone tried to take the truck, he said, looking distant. But it didn't make sense how I ended up on that road, so far away. And the man they saw, it felt like a nightmare. Days went by, but he still felt scared. I could see fear in his eyes that wouldn't go away. He couldn't forget the mysterious man he saw, and it made him worried about every trip he took. Even when he went on those midnight trips, I worried a lot. What other scary things happened at night? What dangers were there on those dark roads? Not knowing the answers made me feel really scared. So every night when I watched his truck lights disappear into the dark, I wondered if he was driving into something scarier than just roads and truck stops. I remember when my dad told me a spooky story from his days as a trucker. He used to drive a big truck on the roads that took him to many places. But there was one stop he made during his trucker days that stuck with him like a bad dream. It was late at night, and my dad's eyes were tired as he pulled his truck into an old way station. This place used to be a train station a long time ago, but now it was empty and gave off a strange feeling. Everything around was dark, and the shadows made the place even scarier. When my dad got out of his truck, he saw a weak light flickering near the train track. He felt a mix of curiosity and worry, so he called out to the person standing there. "Hey, are you okay?" he said loudly, breaking the silence of the night. But the person didn't turn to look at him, and they kept doing whatever they were doing. This person was holding a lantern, and the light from it was making weird shapes on the ground. My dad called out again because he was getting more worried, but the person didn't pay attention to him, and they just kept walking along the train track. A shiver ran down my dad's back, and he felt a chill as he walked into the station's office. The air inside felt strange, like something wasn't right. He told the person sitting at the desk about the strange encounter he had just had, hoping they would understand. However, the person at the desk said something that sent a cold feeling down my dad's spine. "Was it this guy?" the person at the desk asked in a calm voice, pointing to a very old picture hanging on the wall. The picture showed a group of workers who used to work at the train station a very long time ago. Their faces looked wrinkled and old in the picture. My dad looked at the picture and saw the same person he had seen near the train track. It was like a lightning bolt of realization hit him, and he felt scared. The room suddenly felt very heavy, and my dad was filled with a sense of fear he couldn't explain. The person at the desk went on to tell my dad about many other people who had seen the same ghostly person at the station. It turned out that this ghostly figure had been seen by lots of people over the years, not just my dad. The stories went back for many generations. That night, as my dad drove his truck away from that spooky place, he felt safer inside his truck's cabin. But he couldn't stop thinking about the person with the lantern. Even though he couldn't fully understand why, that image stayed with him. He realized that he had witnessed something very strange at the old train station, a place where time seemed to twist and turn, and the past and present mixed in a way that was really unsettling.